Good morning, Abundant Life Church. This is Pastor Chris, and today we're going to look at John chapter 2, verses 1 through 11, Jesus' first miracle. But before we get into that, let me ask you a question. How objective are moms when it comes to their kids? Yeah, not objective at all. They think their kids can do anything and everything, and that their kid is just the most wonderful thing. I remember my mother when I was in high school. One day at dinner, she said, "Hey, I drove by football practice today and I saw you." I said, "Oh, okay." She said, "Why didn't you tell me you were the quarterback?" Well, there was a good reason for that, Mom. I'm not the quarterback. She goes, "No, no, no. I saw you." I said, "Well, Mom, the guy who is the quarterback kind of looks like me. I don't know what difference that made. We had helmets on." Um, I said, "But I'm number 74." And she said, "I know what number you are, and I saw you playing quarterback at practice." No, she said, "Yes, I saw you. It was you. You were playing quarterback." I said, "Okay, Mom, describe for me what I was doing." She said, "Well, you guys were in that huddle, and then you got up to the ball, and you took that ball and threw it between your legs to the other guy." "Yeah, Mom, I'm the center." "Oh, well, I've told all my friends you're the quarterback." I didn't mind that so much. These friends of moms thinking I was the quarterback. My point is, mothers always think their kids can do these amazing things. They get funny ideas about the ability of their children. And Jesus's mom was no exception. In this passage today, we see Jesus's first miracle. He turns the water into wine. Now, it's a great miracle, but it seemed to happen because his mom forced him into it. She knew her boy could do this miracle. But here's the thing, where'd she get that idea? Why did she think he could do a miracle? He had never done miracles before this, so what made Mary so sure that her son was capable of something like this? We'll talk about that, about Mary's expectations and what that implies for our own faith. So, first of all, first question again, why did Mary expect Jesus to be able to perform any miracle when he'd never done anything like this before? There was a problem. They were at a wedding. They were at a wedding in a town called Cana, but Mary says not to worry about the problem at this wedding. My son can take care of it. They had run out of wine. And that might not seem like much, but it would have created a very big problem in that culture. It would have been very embarrassing. But for Mary and actually for Jesus too, it might be an opportunity. Let's look at verses 1 through 3. On the third day, a wedding took place at Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." Weddings are very big deals in that culture, even bigger than they are for us today. For people who had just so little, a wedding was really the high point of their lives. And they were usually held on Wednesday nights. After the ceremony, the bride and groom were led through the village by torchlight on as long a route as possible so as many people as possible could see them and wish them well. And after that, the party started and it went on for days. But to run out of food or wine would be a huge embarrassment. It would be, think of it as Thanksgiving and you run out of food. That was a big deal. Why didn't you plan better? And it probably didn't help that Jesus is at this wedding, and we have the implication that he brought a bunch of his followers along too. So now they have to make the food go even farther. And Jesus' mom comes to him and says, "They ran out of wine." Now look at his response. This is his response to them saying they've run out of wine. Verse 4, "Woman, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied, "My hour has not yet come." I need to take a moment right now and consider what my mother would have ever done if I referred to her as woman. I don't have that kind of courage. I don't even, when she was alive, I didn't want to ask her what she would do if I said that. But in that culture, That's how women were addressed, even by their children. So it wasn't insulting. The big problem now, though, was this couple is going to be humiliated, and it might be because Jesus brought more guests than they were planning on, but they ran out of wine. Mary knows my boy can handle this. And even though it sounds like Jesus was reluctant, he really wasn't. Why do you involve me? Was actually a very common phrase. He was just telling Mary, leave it to me. He's going to handle this. All right. So it sounds like he's saying, oh, why are you bothering me, Mom? He's not. He's saying, woman, let me take care of this. But what exactly was Mary asking Jesus to do? If it wasn't a miracle, then what did she want him to do? Was she telling him to go out and buy more wine? She knew he couldn't afford that. Then was she asking him to be in charge of raising money, going around asking people at the wedding, hey, can you chip in more so we can get some more wine? No, that would only add to the embarrassment that this couple would have for running out of wine in the first place. How do you pass the hat for something like that? So was Mary asking for him to do a miracle? I think that's the conclusion we have to jump to. But again, we're still left with this question. He had never done a miracle before. So, what gave her any reason to think that he could do it? Mary knew her son was special, but there'd never been any mention of any ability to do miracles. So, where did she even come up with such an idea? The answer is found in tuning in next time. Until then, have a great day.